Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Fusion and Avilo on Dusk Towers. Excuse me there, let's get rid of that, bring up that, and bring up that. In the top right of Dusk Towers we have the red Protoss player, it is Fusion, representing Team Ascension. And in the bottom left of Dusk Towers we have the blue Terran player, it is Avilo. Alright, so this is a Masters level game in Legacy of the Void. Again, the letters are in flux right now, and so it's kind of hard to know exactly what level everybody is, but I assume this is very high level replay. It was submitted to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com by a source that I trust. And so I'm going to assume this is going to be pretty high level stuff, and so join me with that assumption, and I think we will all have a really good time. Alright, so again, another big thanks to the creator of Servant Obs for helping me get rid of that dumb thing that I couldn't get rid of for a bit there in the early days of the retail. And also, hey, a new and improved Resources Lost, Workers Lost tab down here. It even has the correct colors and correct icons and logos and everything there. So excellent, excellent work by him. I appreciate him so much. And awesome dude. Alright, so Dusk Towers does have the distinction of having a very, very long distance to your natural. Look at that. I mean, it's way down here. It's like you can do a screen between where your bases are and not even see any of it. I'm trying to do this here. There we go. Basically, you can. Scouting out with a probe, I like that. Scouting out with an SCV, good job as well. Walling off is a velo because of the threat of the adepts. Adepts can get through people, can get through units, but not through walls. And this actually denied the scouting too. Very annoying. I know as a Zerg player trying to get up here and scout the Terran when they got this walled off so quickly is just like, oh man, can't see anything but a barracks, and that tells me literally nothing. So sad. This SCV, however, comes in because Protoss players don't wall off due to the fact they can photon overcharge their heart's content. To their heart's content, rather. As much as they darn well please. And actually it turns out that Fusion kind of took maybe what was the third base before the second base. Like before the second location. So I'm not sure what Fusion is planning on doing here, but it's interesting. No doubt. And yeah, here we go. Avilo's taking the more safe natural base right out here in the bottom left. So we will have to see what happens. Yep, an Adept is coming out. Warp Gate is being researched by Fusion. Avilo making an engineering bay very early. What is that? Engineering bay this early. Planetary Fortress? Maybe he wants to make this a planetary. Maybe he wants to get those upgrades started like at the 2-minute mark, which is a little crazy, but there is a Reaper running around. And what's going to be able to stop that Reaper? Mothership Core is on the way. Should be out fairly soon. Adepts also do pretty well against Reapers. This SCV was just scouting. It's 2-shot. By Adept number 1, and Adept number 2 is heading out more like in a defensive position here than anything else. Oh, is that the same one? No, there are 2 out there. Where the heck are they, though? Okay, there's the 1, and there's the 2. Gotcha. Reaper running around looking for proxy pylons. Not really intent on harassing, but you can't really. Not with a Mothership Core out, not with Adepts out, not at this late stage of the game. So here comes some Adept harass. 1, 2 Adepts. A Reaper coming the other way. Again, still, I think, looking for proxy tech for the Protoss player. Maybe Avilo is familiar with Fusion and knows that's something that he likes to do. In which case, well done, but you're not really fighting anything. So here come the Adepts. They won't be able to get up this ramp at all. On the way is a Cyclone. Hooray! Cyclone at the top of the ramp in just a couple of minutes here. Sonic transfer, scouting, and seeing. There's nothing really new to behold here. And I think the Adepts might just go back home, and they are. They're just kind of retreating at this point. It's 26 to 35 total Harvesters. Chrono Boost is good. Boys and girls, use that spell. It is so amazing. 36 to 26 right now for the Protoss player. Terran's looking okay. I do like the use of the Cyclones and actually getting a missile turret. Maybe you're worried about, I don't know, doesn't want an Observer to come in. Doesn't want Oracles to do anything bad here. And it's going to be a Banshee. At the same time, the Reaper is running around just pretty much scouting. Like I said, you can't really kill anything with the Reaper against Protoss, especially at this stage of the game, because the Mothership Core can kill you and you can't shoot back at it, which is a problem. And the fact that the Mothership Core can photon overcharge these pylons and pretty much 2-shot you with those. So, poor little Reaper just trying to maybe kill a pylon. Can he do it? No. He's going to go after a couple of workers here, but he has to stay out of range of those pylons. KD8 charge, knocking back a probe. Can it actually die? Oh, he actually does get a probe before he gets photon overcharged in the face. And ends up dead. So like I said, I mean, I guess for the scouting it can be good. The fact that he even killed a single worker at that point was very impressive. He used the KD8 charge to knock 10 hit points off the health of that probe. And then finished it off with his Gauss cannons after that. Gauss cannons, is that what they are? I can't remember, something Gaussy. So double gas, and look at this missile turret production. Perhaps the Terran player also knows that Fusion loves to go for Warp Prism drops, or Void Rays, or again Oracles, because these, I mean, this is a lot of turrets. This is the most turrets I've seen at this stage of the game, I think, ever on my channel. A Banshee heading up at the same time a Warp Prism's heading down the right side of the map. Banshee might have some areas to attack in here. There's not really a... I don't think the pylon can reach quite that far. There's a little sweet spot right there where the Banshee can hit, I believe. Warp Prism heading on in along the bottom side of the map now. The Banshee waiting for further instructions, able to just hover here thanks to the little hovery propellers that she has in her unit. There it is, and their cloak is popping on up. And yep, finding that little spot. Oh, there's an observer though. That's okay. Workers are going to die. They get two-shot by the Banshee. Be so careful getting in range though. And actually 3-4-shotting that warping and stalker. Another worker goes down. This harass is very strong right now. The stalkers though are going to kill the Banshee if it doesn't run now. It is running. It is taking an angle. The stalkers can't really follow. No workers down here to kill, unfortunately for the Banshee, but there are ones here. There's a cannon on the way, but it might be too late, depending on how quickly the Banshee gets down there for avilo. Instead, avilo is just choosing to hang out. So probably pretty happy with the amount of probes killed there, 4 total. It looks like thus far. Is that how many kills the Banshee actually has? Yes, it is. Gonna try to kill a pylon. Cloak's gonna run out. There it is. Yeah, I mean, this might just be a suicide play. Changing targets to the probe would be good, but who's there? Oh! Right up in this corner, the Banshee can hang out, cannot be hit by the stalkers, probably can't hit by a cannon either. Just waiting for an opportunity to come and kill something else. These stalkers are going to stay behind and make sure that doesn't happen. A disruptor in production, Raven, and a tank on the way for avilo. Is this going to be a meching? It looks pretty mechy. I mean, there's a few Marines here. But Banshee, Raven, Cyclone, tank. Alright, I'm interested to see if Cyclone can work here. I know a lot of Terran players have abandoned the unit almost entirely, feeling like its damage output was nerfed a little bit too much. So at this point, Lock On locks the Cyclone's weapons on the target unit, dealing 400 damage over 14 seconds to ground targets, and 400 damage over 14 seconds to flying targets. And it can move while firing, and it has a great range too. It doesn't really talk about that, but wow, the range is a lot. So 400 damage over 14 seconds. I don't know. I mean, it can burn down buildings. It can take down stalkers are a pretty good target. Immortals are good targets as well. I think disruptors might be something that they can really focus that lock-on ability onto as well. This Banshee still hanging out. It's basically holding the attention of an observer, which is a fair trade, I think, in my opinion. The observer should be out scouting and checking for flight paths, for drops and things like that over here and here, but instead it's forced to stay here on the Banshee because they're so worried about the Banshee coming back in and killing more workers. But I don't know. Okay, well... The Banshee did finally come back in, destroyed flaming wreckage everywhere. Both players are just macroing to their heart's content. 61 to 65 total workers at this point, 97 to 99 total supply. We should see a max out fairly soon here. A lot of production facilities, both players spending their money fairly well. Avilo, a little bit high on that. There we go, spinning it back down. Oh no, Avilo is still up there, about 600, 500 in the mineral and the gas count. Hellions moving out. Again, a little bit late on the Hellions. There's a cannon here, but maybe swooping up here would be a good idea. Meanwhile, an attack coming down the other path here is Fusion with Blink Stalkers. Right? Yes, there are always Blink Stalkers, Adepts, and a couple Disruptors. What's at the front door here? A lot of tanks in siege mode. They do not have +1 attack yet, and it's not even on the way. So the Hellions try to get on in. They're just ignoring the cannon entirely. Oh, lining them up. Lining up the probes. A lot of them are very weak, and a huge hit there. Massive, massive hit. Photon Overcharge trying to kill these Hellions at the same time. Another probe ends up dead, though. I think these Hellions are finally going to be cleaned up, and they are, but 16 probes have died in this game so far. 16 is a big, big number. Yikes. Yikes indeed. Alright, so the Stalkers have +1 attack, +1 armor. There's +2 on the way. It is not, but ground armor level 2 is definitely on the way. They're going to come up this ramp, and again, the tanks, I just think are going to dissuade this from happening. And just denying this base, lock-on ability being used. Trying to kill some stuff. Disruptor, Purification Nova whiffs in the night. Tanks sieging forward, not getting too greedy here. Defender mode for Liberators being thrown down at the same time. The Stalkers coming right on in, taking a lot of fire from tanks and from Liberators and deciding to back out. Not really worth it. Trailing Adept does get destroyed. Oh, the Disruptors, if they get killed, that would be a big deal. Ooh, killing a Cyclone, though. is that one disruptor. The other one is getting killed at the same time. So again, disruptors are not as tanky, I think, as Protoss players would like. That's probably fair just because, man, Purification Nova hits really hard. It's 145 splash damage to everything on the ground, including buildings, which is pretty fantastic. Nukes! Nukes on the way for Avilo, continuing to make Liberators and Banshees and Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrades, armor for ships and vehicles, and personnel cloaking for the Ghosts. So if you're going to go nukes, you got to have that cloaking for the Ghost, right? Right. Coming in again, just trying to poke, does not actually lose anything for his trouble. Purification Nova doesn't hit anything either. And Hellions leading the charge for some reason, and somehow a Stalker dies. But Hellions, I don't think they're really meant to kill Stalkers and Disruptors, but who knows? Maybe Avilo has a bigger plan up his sleeve. Trying to land a base up on here to take a 5th base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a 4th base is up and running here for Fusion as well. Storm on the way. Gravitic Drive on the way to make the Warp Prisms move faster. And Tempests. I suppose maybe Tempests are a good answer to a meching Terran, but another Disruptor falls, being a little bit careless there. Oh, losing a Raven too, though. PDD, making those Stalkers a little bit useless. Oh, and the Disruptor escapes with 27 hit points. Good night, Disruptor. Sensor Tower right darn in the middle of here, scanning everything in the around surrounding area. Double Ghost Academy for double production of those nukes. And Corvid Reactor, which is starting energy of the Ravens. And a Fusion Core. Oh. Fusion Core could be for battle cruisers. Let's check that out. Blink Stalkers come in, try to deny this base, canceling the construction. And yes, it is going to fall. Oh, the Blink Stalker attack comes at just the right time. SCVs come and try to attack. What are you doing, SCVs? You're just suiciding yourselves for no reason whatsoever. That was odd. I mean, a Stalker died, but they can just escape out that back door. No big deal. They're not forced to come back through these defender mode circles. Avilo should probably replant his base here fairly soon. It would be good to be up a base on the Protoss player. Resources lost tab. 3,000 minerals, 700 gas for the Terran player Avilo. Fusion, 3,000 minerals and the 900 gas. So pretty even. Both players lost exactly 16 workers. Is that true? Units lost tab 16 and 16. It is true. Huh. That's super weird. Alright, SCV long distance mining from that Vespene Geyser because why not? Liberator here with +2/+2. Yeah, the mech is looking pretty good at this point. Hellions trying to burn down a Nexus. Changing into Hellbat, so they'll have more success that way, especially with Banshees in the air to lend additional support. And yes, the cancel does not even happen on that Nexus. Tempest trying to smash things all down. Is there an observer in this group? I don't know. Avilo doesn't want to risk it, just backs out with the Banshees anyway. And still, not much harassment from Fusion at all. Was able to kind of deny this base for a while, was able to kill this base, but the main and the first and the second and third bases for Avilo have been pretty much completely, I'm going to say, harass-free. They have not been molested at all by the Protoss player. An observer here should be able to get out and do some scouting. There it is. Heading out probably with the rest of this army. There are Templar with Storm available. They're not being made into Archons, and here's the scan. Tank doing some big splash damage on those Stalkers. Are they two-shot Stalkers? Shouldn't. Oh, man. Should be more of a 3-shot. Oh, well. Tempests are laying siege. There are Vikings in the air. Is PDD intercepting, though? It is. PDD is intercepting those Tempest attacks. Strange. Storm on everything. Flying back through the storm is Avilo. Oh, no, Avilo. Oh, no. And does Fusion want to continue to press here? I don't know that he does. More Vikings on the way, as well as Ravens, as well as tanks. Definitely a mech play. I mean, we already knew that, but Avilo's continuing to stick with it, even in the face of there are some Archons here, some Stalkers, and this base never got replanted. And I think Fusion's a little bit surprised by this. He's going to kill these buildings anyway, because why not? And then just back on out. So right now, there's the 5th base for Fusion coming up, just about to finish, being replanted after the Banshees killed it the first time around. Where are those Banshees, though? Are they just with the main army? No, they're heading out on a hit mission again. They're going to try to kill this base once more. 4 cannons on the way. I don't think they'll be finished by the time the Banshees show up, and the army's out of position to really deal with these guys. Again, laying siege to this base is Fusion, trying to snipe off the Tempests here, using the long range of the Vikings as well as point defense drones. Banshees killing every worker that's here. They should have enough DPS to actually tear through this Nexus before Fusion can save it, which has to be so frustrating for the Protoss player. These +2/+2 Banshees doing 14 damage times 2. doing 28. Nope. Nope, that's not what it is. Is it? Yeah, it is 28 attack with their missiles there. What are those called, actually? Backlash rockets. I don't know if I've ever looked at that in my entire life to see what Banshee attacks are called. Backlash rockets. Now we know. Tempest coming in. Woo, killing one Banshee, forcing the others to retreat as fast as they can. But again, there are cannons back here. So be very, very careful, Banshees. Not where you want to be. Planting the 5th base. Here is avilo at the 15-minute mark, finding an open spot to kill some workers. There's a cannon, so you have to be very careful, but killing that pylon's nice. The Tempest, though, have shown up. Ooh, killing 2. And can they kill the rest of the Banshees? Yes, 1 shot and 1 shot. All the Banshees are now cleaned up. And avilo didn't really move out during that attack. A free warp prism is always appreciated by Terran players. They like to get rid of those any chance they can possibly get. Oh, shoot. Production tab. I had it in units the whole time, didn't I? +3/+3 for the mech on the way for avilo. Fusion continuing to make Templar, getting air weapons level 2 to make the Tempest a little bit more powerful. And just, I think he's suiciding these Hellions to free up supply, maybe. That would make sense. 2 more command centers being planted. These might just be planetaries to help defend this base against oncoming attacks from the Protoss player. I'm just trying to see where that scan was. I couldn't really figure it out. Tempest killing more Hellions. The Hellions who want to die. I can't imagine that anything else would be going on here. They might actually be going for some harassment and just running into the army completely by accident. But this is a pretty heavy Sky Terran army. Look at all those Ravens. I mean, Hunter Seeker Missile maybe? PDD? Maybe as well. Point Defense Drone negates the Stalkers, negates the Tempests. The Storm's still a problem, and the Archons are still a problem, I think. Zealots coming in and are just getting roasted alive by tanks, by this planetary fortress. They're not going to be able to do much at all. They're trying to kill this planetary, but again, with the supporting tank fire, that is just never, ever going to happen. It is going to weaken it. It is forcing a repair. Here comes the main attack, just kind of dancing around on the outside, on the periphery, killing an SCV. Overkill, in my estimation, getting rid of those missile turrets. One of them falls, and the other one falls. Hellions on the ground. Vikings are trying to get out of range of the Tempest, but also hit them. Hellions come rolling on in, and they snipe off a Templar. That's a pretty big win there for avilo. Another missile turret falls. These are +1 attack Tempests. This base is completely under siege, and another adept falls to these Hellions. He's tried to sneak in and I think kill the spellcasters, but it hasn't been super effective thus far. Liberators of Vikings, Ravens, and some Ghosts as well. I want to see some nukes go off, but we haven't really had the opportunity to experience that, which is a little bit sad. Missile turrets coming on up in this base, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the base for the Terran army. Starting to get mined out pretty darn bad here. Everybody really is. Man, this one's glowing as well. This is pretty much the biggest mining base available for Fusion, but Fusion is basically maxed out. And I'm not sure... I don't know. I'm trying to decide how avilo wants to deal with this. I think... Does he just want to send in his Liberators and his Vikings with +3 attack there? Lancer torpedoes, 17 damage versus armored. And Tempests are armored, so that's exactly what Vikings were created for. Ghosts, here we go. Ghost coming in. Is there one EMP? Oh, EMP is the Templar. They have no energy available, and the Ghosts end up dead, but I think that's a reason for Fusion maybe to back out. If all of the Vikings are at the back of the army, one of them ends up getting sniped down. Continuing to slowly siege forward to turn the tides here. Point Defense Drone making use of itself. Oh, a couple Archons overextend, and they are going to die, getting the PDD, however. Observer hanging out, and now the tables have turned. Fusion is forced to retreat. I think, did he lose all of his Tempest? He still has 6, so he's not completely bereft of that caster unit. Another expansion here from avilo. Avilo basically saying the left side of the map is mine. It is mine forever and ever. You cannot have it. Oracles coming in, possibly to cast Revelation on these armies. Coming down again, though, is Fusion. +3 attack, +3 armor available for the Protoss army. Might just bypass this mech. Or use this high ground, I guess. Perhaps try to abuse the high ground. There's the Revelation on the Oracle. It ends up dead anyway, though. PDDs are good. I kind of like this composition from the Terran player, throwing down port defense drones to negate the long shots of the Tempest, to negate the Stalkers fairly well at the same time. I think maybe he has too many Ravens, though. That's a lot of Ravens. Auto turrets might be nice. Auto turret harassment, perhaps in this mineral line. Or perhaps over here would do a lot of damage, I think, just right there and right there. I think you're out of range of those cannons if you place it there. Woo! Revelation again. Is that the same one? It could be the same one. That lasts forever, but there are 2 more oracles that could have possibly cast it. Isn't that awesome, seeing those giant energy balls get sniped down by the PDD? Snipe, snipe. Just, it's a dance at this point. It is a very intricate type dance. Hunter Seeker Missile. Did it actually not go anywhere? That was strange. I don't know if I've seen that before. But yeah, this late game usage of Revelation, I really approve. As a Zerg player, obviously, but I think it's great. And, oh, battle cruisers! When did those sneak over? They're trying to take down this Nexus. If they get it, it is the biggest mining source available for Fusion. I don't think they're going to, though. Everybody shows up. And no, the Nexus is down to 400 hit points, but it is not completely gone. The full army was forced to retreat in order to deal with that. So avilo gets a little bit of breathing room, waits for that Revelation perhaps to fly off. Hellions trying to get through this debris, never ever going to happen. So it takes forever for them to kill things that are armored, which is what debris is. Hellbats do better. I guess 18 damage, and yeah, slowly moving that down. A few more attacks this way. There's a Thor on the ground. PDD negating those shots directed at the Thor. The Thor is going to send a nice thank you card to the PDD when all is said and done here. The Hellbats coming back to the main army. They stop their efforts to get rid of that debris. Production +3 air weapons, more ghosts. And this is the Behemoth reactor, and here he is going for it. Is the Protoss player. Storms on top of everything. Archons, Hunter Seeker missiles trying to land on top of stuff. Actually hitting an Archon there, but the army is getting roasted alive here. Everything on the ground is completely gone for avilo. The air units are left. There are some tanks, I guess, over here. They're kind of whittling down the stalker count on that left side. Do they want to continue to move in or not? I don't know. Stalker count looking very big. They're trying to blink on top of these tanks, but PDDs, again, making them mostly useless. A lot of tanks are falling. Finally, they're completely gone. Liberators as well, just suiciding a nuke. A desperation defensive nuke. Gonna try to be landed right on here. The observer, no, recognizes what's going on, backs on out, and cancels the nuke before he walks into his own nuclear launch, which is not ever a good feeling. You don't want to do that as a Terran player. So right now, 60 to 61 total harvesters, pretty much maxed out. 177 to 185 total supply. Our resources lost, 14,000 minerals, 5,000 gas here lost for the Terran. Meanwhile, another massive attack here. Stalkers on the ground trying to kill what they can, but the Cyclones are back and forcing retreat to the Archons. 47 damage versus biological for those Archons. And again, just backing out once again. 158 total supply for avilo. Sending in another Revelation hit. Oh, he whiffed that one, though. Somehow he missed. He was trying to go over here. I think he was trying to go over here, but he didn't. Again, this base is totally mining, and this base is established as well for Fusion. So neither player is really hurting for income right now. If we look at the income tab, yeah, about 1,000, 600, 700 for both, with an equal count there. Another big attack here, though, with Zealots and Archons getting cleaned up and being forced to retreat once more. The Cyclones are really mad. They want to kill these Tempests. And you know what? They're not really being focused down. They got one Tempest. They're trying to kill this Archon at the same time, doing a good job microing back to keep themselves out of range of those things. Zealots are falling. Another Archon ends up dead as well. 400 damage is enough to kill an Archon. Just barely, though. About 360 hit points on those guys. Dancing around. Sensor towers are everywhere. If a Fusion tries to go to any of these bases, avilo will know about it. And I assume he'll be very upset and try to stop it. Another shot from these Tempests. Just slowly trying to whittle down what they can. Cyclones at the front trying to kill stuff, but one of them does end up dead. And they're trying to slowly whittle down this Archon ball. Are they going to get it? Hellbats at the front really dealing with the Zealots fairly well. The Stalkers just kind of standing in. Cyclones, though, proving to be very annoying indeed. Psionic Storm almost kills a Widowmine, but can't quite do it. They have +3 plating, making them a lot more tanky than just your regular run-of-the-mill Widowmines. Heading over to the left side is Fusion and getting just inside the range of that sensor tower, saying, come out and meet me. And guess what? The army is. The army is going to meet them. Another attack's trying to snipe down those cyclones. They're causing problems for Fusion right now. Well, micro cyclones are a big problem for Protoss players. I like this. I like this from avilo. Heading on out, another Oracle, perhaps for another Revelation, and a small group are just going to try to flank. It might just be an attempted flank here. Nope, the entire army came over to this right side. And now Fusion is kind of cut off from his main base. I'm not sure if that's something he's comfortable with or not. I think he's just going to try to win this battle, and it won't really make a difference. The Cyclone's using that lock-on ability to great effect. Coming right on in again. Trying to kill everything that they possibly can. The Hellbats on the ground, dodging storms. Cyclones using the lock-on ability. PDDs intercepting damage from the Tempest and from the Stalkers. Second verse, same as the first. Warping and Stalkers here on the battlefield. Another Tempest might end up falling. It is very close, but no, it does stay alive. These are orbital commands that avilo has over here for additional income if it becomes necessary. This planetary is being repaired. Is avilo going to be able to save it? Fusion, the backside here, the Tempest, they finally do get the planetary fortress. Another storm forcing the units back. One more Tempest falls. Falling into the ground there. These Stalkers don't really want to fight against the Cyclones. I guess one is probably okay. It seems like a fair trade when all is said and done. Going after these orbital commands, just sitting right in the production facilities or the mining facilities of avilo is Fusion, and the Cyclones are able to kite back and kite back and kite back. PDDs really ruining Fusion's day right now. The Archons are trying to get shots off, but they can't quite do it as often as they would like to. Both Archons then do end up falling. Zealots and Tempest taking out Hellions on that side. Another regroup here for Fusion. Kiting back all day, every day is avilo. Who is going to break through first here? I don't know. It seems like both players are just kind of in a stalemate. They haven't been able to really wreck the other player's army. Is avilo just going to go for a base race at this point? It looks like he's conceding his production facilities here, his Cyclone and his Hellion production, to Fusion. And yeah, he's actually heading on over here, leading the way. With some Hellions, you want to kill some workers. This is basically a base race. At this point, Zealots come in, try to take out this planetary. They're going to be able to do so because I don't think the SCVs are actually repairing. And no, they are not. The Zealots also have +3 attack, making them so much stronger. So this base is completely gone, but it was traded for this base. And you know what? This planetary is actually holding its own a lot longer than I expected. 12 kills there, just killing Stalkers. The Tempest really should be helping to focus down, helping the Stalkers to get rid of this super annoying structure from the Terran army. And yes, they do get it. It does explode. This base has fallen as well. Zealot's getting rid of this orbital command. It's leaving a couple units to take care of that. And no, warping in 100 Zealots to try to stop this attack. Hunter Seeker missiles wipe out the entire group, though. Battle cruisers coming to help as well. The Zealots are not long for this world. They're completely gone. And this mining base is now officially under lockdown. Fusion's income is going to start to plummet here fairly quickly. Nobody really has anything, though. And higher than I thought. I guess this base is still mining with about 8 workers or so, but nothing's happening here. Nothing is happening here. And now the players, I think, are basically stuck in what they have. Production shows nothing going on. Fusion has enough money to create some stuff, but he's actually not doing that at this moment. I guess he has about 50 available supply he could use. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing with that, though. Hellions slowly getting whittled down here. Every unit that Fusion can kill is a big deal because avilo's production facilities are basically gone. He lost all those factories that were right here. The Zealots running past the bunker, going to get into the main and start killing even more production structures. And a slight pause at the 28-minute mark of the game because both players maybe needed a bathroom break. I don't know. Zealots, yep, going after add-ons, going after factories. Going to be able to destroy those, no problem whatsoever. Tempest, Stalker, moving on in. And yeah, what is Fusion doing? Making 7 Archons. Alright. 7 Archons is probably a pretty fair thing. No SCVs left for the Terran player. What on earth? How did that happen? And not enough money to make an SCV. What avilo has is what he needs to win this game. Or I guess what he has is all he has available to help him win this game. That's probably a different thing. Blinking forward. Stalkers, Archons. The army's stuck back here. Yamato cannon going down on the Archons, trying to thin out the ranks. And Storms on top of everything. Banshees taking shots, forced to retreat and retreat again all the way back here. Cyclones left on the ground. Oh my gosh, the mass storm trying to tear through those Ravens. trying to escape, and that's it. And I lost from Avilo because I made Cyclones, he says. Aw, frowny face. I wanted to try it. They kind of suck, says Fusion, but they're terrible, says Avilo. Fusion says you're in a good position. Yeah, okay, again, so this... Avilo says I should have made 6 to 7 more starports for BCs, but I was testing this. So yeah, going for Cyclones. It didn't really work out for him. It's really sad how bad they are. Good game from Avilo, and he leaves it. Fusion's victorious, and Fusion is also leaving. So a 30-minute game there, and again, Terran players do not like to make Cyclones, and the answer is because they think they are terrible. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like they did force the Protoss player back more than once using that lock-on ability. If they kite well, I did see them take down several Tempests. Archons seem to fall fairly quickly, but for whatever reason, Terran players have decided if they make Cyclones, they're going to lose. So I'm not sure if Blizzard's going to go ahead and patch that and try to fix that problem, or if Terran players just have negative attitudes about it. Anyway, regardless, it was a pretty fun game to watch. Thanks for joining me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me at Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. Visit the store at the link in the description, and also on the end slate, there's a button you can click. Please enjoy the music at the end of the cast by Seabeats, a wonderful, wonderful individual, very, very talented. Please check him out. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.